Have you noticed that you've started to lose interest in so many things in your life? And maybe you're noticing this also in the people around you, just this loss of interest, this numbness. It's like we've just gone numb to things. And it's as though we're on overload because of all of the stimulus that has been coming into our systems through all of the distractions, through all of the social media, through so many other things that I'm going to talk to you about. So if you've been feeling this way at all, then this video's for you. I'm going through this now, and I've really gone into depth thinking about this. So I have started to turn away from and pull back from people, places, and things that I've always been interested in, that are people that I've always been close to, activities that I've always, really loved doing. It's like I've just lost interest in so many things. And, I no longer agree with a lot of the people that I call my friends. I don't agree or align with them as far as interests go. And so I'm finding that also about places that I once used to often go. It's like I'm not aligned anymore with those places. And so I think it's a very natural process that happens to us when we are waking up spiritually. When we begin to wake up, we start to feel this. We start to feel this misalignment, and we start to pull back our own energy. As society gets louder and louder and louder through all of the distractions that I've been talking about, like social media is one of them, our phones. Oh my gosh, our phones are one of them. The internet, the news, just all of this input. And so much of it is really intense. Well, when we start to lose interest in these things, something is happening, something magical is happening within us. We're pulling away from the noise, and we're pulling away from the distraction so that we can begin to hear the voice of our own soul speaking. And when we're pulling away, at first, we can start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Something's going on with me, and I don't know what it is. And you can start to feel a bit bored. You can start to feel anxious, because you're changing and you can't really put your finger on it. So, when we're in all of this chaos and worrying, we can't hear the voice in our own intuition. We can't hear that magical voice that we all have built in. And when we're not pulled into all the chaos and worrying and anxiety that most other people are caught up into, we begin to hear that voice again. We begin to hear it. And, when we're not worrying about the next big thing that everybody's talking about, but we're more focused on our own energy and just kind of pulling in, this is where true transformation really begins to happen. True alchemy. And, we start to realize during this time that these things that we were once so interested in, and some people too, were these layers of programming. This programming that we were brought up with, that we've learned from childhood, all of these different types of areas, our environment, that we get all this input from. And, we pull back and we start to realize, am I even living my own dream here? Am I living my own dream, or is this somebody else's dream? Because we're taught to, we're naturally taught to get the education, to get the perfect house, the 2-story house with the white picket fence, have a beautiful family, get that nice ski boat, get the perfect career, get all those things. That's what we're taught is right. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, when you start to tune in to your own spiritual compass, you learn that many of those things are really not what your soul is yearning for. Your authentic voice is telling you something different. That's why when many people reach these goals that they believe that they are supposed to reach, or that someone has instilled in them that, this is what you have to do, that's why so many people find this emptiness and this loneliness once they reach this point. It's just like, okay, I've got it now. I've done all this, and I still feel this, this hollow feeling inside. So we reach this moment in stillness where our intuition starts to peak, And this is a very, very magical thing. It is an amazing time because everything has been so distorted for most of our lives. It has been so, it's like 3 or 4 different radio frequencies all playing at the same time, and you can't clearly hear any one of them until we do this pulling back. So the whole magical process of this, to me, the whole silver lining of all of these distractions, all of this chaos that we go through, that we've lived through, all of the experiences of our life, to me, there's a silver lining with everything that's going on in the world. And that silver lining is this: more and more people are waking up to who they truly are, to what their soul really, really wants. And they're doing this because they have been so uncomfortable and unhappy in these other situations. And I can totally relate to this. I'm one of them. So that silver lining, though, I just think it's a wonderful thing, because in situations and when the world is going all different directions and there are all these things happening that we can't control, we can't do anything about personally, if there's something amazing that's happening because of it, then it's worth it to me. It's worth it to go through it. The pain, the lost feelings, the agony in a lot of ways that so many of us are going through, we are growing through this. We are growing and we are learning. And what I'm seeing in my mind right now, what I'm being shown, is Phoenix just rising from the ashes, just rising, because of what we have learned and because of what we now understand. So in my opinion, the best thing we can possibly do is pull back our energy to ourselves and think about what it is we really want in life. What is my real dream? What is your real dream? What do you dream about accomplishing? Because all of those dreams can be had, but we have to be able to consciously know what they are and not have them overridden and overlaid with this other stuff that maybe we've been taught is our dream. So that is, to me, that is the whole point in this video today, is just to let you know that there is a silver lining here. No matter what you're going through, no matter how caught up you may be in the distractions of the world, if you can pull your energy back to yourself, back to your true north, that's right here in your heart, back to your spiritual compass right here. This is where the truth is. And you have everything right here that you will ever need in this life to make the right decisions, to follow your happy. Just follow your happy right down the trail of what you want, because what you want matters. It matters a whole lot. Thank you so much for being here. If this video resonates with you at all, please give me a like, a thumbs up. Would love to have you as a subscriber. I talk about a lot of spiritual concepts here, and I talk about a lot of things that are just true life stuff. So thanks again for being here, and I'm going to catch you on my next video.